Idaho Falls Pediatrics, proudly supporting kids in our community, and 7 questions with Emmy.
It's time for 7 questions with Emmy. I'm Emmy Eden, and today I'm talking with Amy Makechnie.
Got it.
She's the author of 2 critically acclaimed books, The Unforgettable Guinevere St. Clair, 10,000 Tries, and now she has a new book out called The McNifficents.
You got it.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Emmy. I love talking to you.
A fun fact about Amy is she's my dad's cousin. Yeah. So she
You're
has
right.
anytime you need to know funny stories about dad, just
I got the dirt.
yeah. So let's get started with the questions, okay?
Okay.
Okay, question number 1. So this book is different than your other ones. Can you tell me why?
Well, just, you look at the covers, they're a little bit different, even like age-wise. Probably the Magnificents is a little bit younger.
It's more fun, I feel like, kind of.
It's really fun. I think there's a lot more laughing.
Yeah, there's a lot of color.
Yeah, a lot of color. And this is the first book that has like these interior sketches.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
They're sweetums.
And for people that haven't read it or started reading it, can you tell them what's it about?
Well, on our cover, we have Lord Tennyson. So he is the nanny of these 6 very rambunctious children. And we've got Annie, she's the oldest, and Mary, often called Naughty Mary. And then we've got Ezra, he's the one holding the snake. And Pearl and Tate, they're inseparable. And then 18-month-old Sweetums. And she's kind of a disaster. And so, mom and dad are busy and they're tired and all these kids are home for the summer. So Lord Tennyson, he wants them to behave and to be kind. And it's just really hard in a big family. So lots of adventures, lots of disasters. And we see how Lord Tennyson saves the day, but he also starts to wonder about his place in the family, if he's really up for the job and if he's enough for his family. So that's one of the themes in the book too.
And there's obviously the mom and the dad. Right?
Mom, that's Honey. And she loves her gardening. And there is Mr. McNiff, and he is a tap dancing, Broadway loving drama teacher. So that brings a lot of fun into the family life.
It's like Uncle Clint, kind of.
That was the inspiration.
That's really cool. Question number 2. Where do you come up with the names for your characters?
Well, can I introduce you to the real Lord Tennyson?
Yes.
Hey, G. Okay, my daughter's going to bring Lord Tennyson. So I just thought that was such a great name for a dog. And he's really old. Oh, come here, baby. Come here. Okay, so this is Lord Tennyson, the real Lord Tennyson. Hi, baby.
Cute.
There he is. What's going on? You're on camera. Can you say hi to Emmy?
Hi.
So he really was the inspiration for this dog who my children have grown up with him. And many schnauzers they look very dignified. They have the beard. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if there was a book about this dog who really thinks he's the nanny of these children?
Yeah.
So a lot of these ideas from this book came from raising kids. And you know how kids are always doing something really funny. So it gave me a lot of really good material.
And then, so is that how you got all the names? Or?
Oh, sorry, that was the question.
Yeah.
Mary was based on my mom, and Naughty Mary came from a lot of the naughty things that my mother did. Let's see, Pearl and Tate. I do have a nephew named Tate, and I just like the name Pearl. Sweetums, I think I probably called my babies Sweetums when they were little, so that seemed like a natural thing. Annie and Ezra's also a nephew, and Annie, I just kind of pull out. I thought it matched the other kids. So sometimes the names they see, I like to match the name to the character. Pearl is sweet and kind of shy, and that just seemed to match. And so all the kids, I kind of, as their personality emerges, their name starts to fit. And sometimes I have to change the names because it just doesn't seem right.
Did you tell Uncle Clint about how he was your inspiration?
He does not know.
Well, now I probably know that.
Now he knows. It's out in the open.
Yeah. Okay. What makes a good story?
I think the stories that I love make me feel something. I can't wait to get back to it and what's going to happen next. So, you want to keep turning the page, and every story needs to have a beginning, middle, and end. You don't want it to be too dull. And if you can put down a book, maybe that's not such a great story. But I also know that not every story is going to connect with every reader. So I just try to write, the best story in terms of, for instance, for this book, it's about a family. So what's going to happen to this family? And they're going to start in one place. And by the end of the summer, they should end up in a different place, even emotionally, how they feel about each other. So, I think a story makes you feel, it makes you think, and you remember them for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. So out of the 3 books that you have written, do you have a favorite one?
Have you ever heard people say that like books are like their babies? Sometimes my books feel like my own kids. Like I love each one of them. I don't think I can pick a favorite. They're all special in their own way. Like Guinevere was my first one and I worked on it for so long. So that was really special. And then, 10,000 Tries, that had so much, it dealt with ALS, and I had a really good friend who had ALS. And then there's a lot of soccer, and I love soccer and this friendship. So this is a meaningful book. And then, the McNifficents, I love all these characters too. So I don't think I can pick a favorite.
It's like interviews. That I feel the same way, except with my interviews, because everyone's like, "Who's your favorite?" You can tell me. I won't tell anyone. But I'm just like,
funny.
It's actually all of them.
Yeah, you're right, because they all bring something different to your life,
and they all make me smile in the end.
Yeah. Has anyone made you cry?
No,
You've been lucky. You pick good interviews.
What's the hardest part about writing a book?
I think sometimes it's the belief in yourself that every single day, I want to sit down and I want to write, but sometimes I have a lot of internal resistance, and getting started is just hard. And sometimes I think it shouldn't be so hard because I've done it before and I can do it again. But I think for most people with writing, it's the belief that you can actually write another or one good story that's going to, mean something to somebody somewhere. So I think it really comes from within, this resistance of, can I do this again?
Can you tell me about your next writing project? If it's a secret, so you don't have to, but.
Well, I think it would be so fun to have 4 of these. Like, this is summer, so then we could have fall and winter and spring McNiffs. That would be really fun. Yeah. And the other thing I'm working on is it's kind of a retelling of a fairy tale. And I've never written anything with magical elements or anything, so that's really new for me.
What fairy tale is it?
It's called Bluebeard. Have you ever heard that fairy tale? It's scary. So my editor actually thinks it's too scary for my middle grade audience, but I think I can pull it off.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
You should make a graphic novel.
I am really interested in graphic novels. I just read such a great one. It was called Hey Kiddo, by Jarrett, and I won't pronounce the name right, but it was so good. And Then I read another one, Christina Soon Tornvent, The Tryout, and it was so good. And it's such a great, fun way to tell a story. So I would love to learn to draw better and do my own.
I'm reading this one right now.
Besties find their group. Oh, that looks so cute.
Yeah, it's like about school dance. It's really cool.
Oh, nice.
I have one bonus question. So, and then the last one. So,
Okay.
if you were ever to write like a biography about someone, who would you want it to be with?
Oh, you know what? I've been thinking, that's funny you asked, because I just saw a play. My daughter was in a play, and it was about Ada Byron, who was Lord Byron's daughter. Paigey, is Ada's last name Byron? Oh, it's Lovelace. Ada Lovelace. So her father was Lord Byron, but she was a math genius. And she lived at a time where women didn't do anything really outside of the home, including using their minds. And a lot of people thought that women shouldn't read, or they didn't need to be educated, but she loved math. And she is given credit for being like the mother of the computer. And I have never heard of her before. And I thought, the world needs to know about Ada. And I was really inspired. So I think that would be a really fun biography to write. It would be about women that I love. I know that.
Daughter in it.
What's that?
Who is your daughter?
Paige. So she's my youngest, and she played Ada. And
That's really cool.
It was really cool. And we struggle with math, but I still connected with Ada.
Yeah. Okay. What advice do you have for people who want to write a book but don't know where to start?
I think the hardest part is starting. So have the belief that you just need to sit down and do it. Put sentences on a page. And you know what's so fun about all of these books? I've talked about like where my inspiration comes. I tell kids all the time that only you are living your life. So only you can tell the stories that you have. And all you have to do is write them down.
Okay.
And the more you do it, the more confidence you'll have.
I have another question, and Dad's going to be mad about this one. Can you tell us an embarrassing story about him?
Oh, Nate, which one should I tell?
A very
There are
embarrassing,
none.
funny
There are
one.
There are none. Did he say there are none?
He might want to cut this out, but we have to.
Okay. One of my favorite stories about your dad is he always loved to be barefoot. So I remember him running around the neighborhood barefoot all the time. But I remember he loved being a reporter when he was young. And he was always interviewing people. And I remember he told me in the garage of his house that he wanted to be Oprah. And I thought that was so fun and funny. And look what he's doing. He's just made his dreams come true.
I'm not okay.
He's a person that has gone after his dream. And look at you guys. You're such a great team.
Oh, thank you.
There's also the time that he snuck out of my parents' window in the basement of my house in Omaha, Nebraska. And they broke the window, so they didn't get away with it.
Thank you so much for talking with me.
You're welcome.
Can you tell the viewers when this comes out?
Okay, guys. June 20th. It's less than a month. Less than a month and a day. June 20th. Please buy this book. I hope you'll enjoy it. It's perfect for summer reading. You'll laugh. You might cry a little bit, but I think you'll really love this family.
Yeah.
Tell them that they can pre-order it now.
You can pre-order it now.
You can, from any store, local bookstores, online, Barnes & Noble, Target, Amazon. You know the drill.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you, Emmy. You're the best.
Thanks so much for watching. Remember, new 7 questions and interviews are posted every Thursday. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Love you guys. Bye.
Idaho Falls Pediatrics, proudly supporting kids in our community, and 7 questions with Emmy.